These are the most chaotic celebrity poker hands ever caught on camera. In this video, we're breaking down the wildest, funniest, and most unbelievable moments where Hollywood stars, comedians, and even a world chess champion went head-to-head with the pros in pure poker madness. Let's dive in. We're kicking things off with a hand from the 2017 Super High Roller Bowl in Las Vegas, a $300,000 buy-in event where poker legends and high rollers sit shoulder to shoulder. On one side of the table is Kevin Hart, one of the greatest comedians of all time. Across from him is Phil Hellmuth, one of the chillest and most mild-mannered poker players out there. Phil limps into the pot, trying to see a cheap flop. But Kevin is not going to make it easy for him. He goes for a big raise on the button. Byron Caverman comes along for the ride, and Phil decides to go for a set mine. And the flop is a disaster in the making. A set over set. Kevin checks behind with his top set, wisely allowing his opponents to potentially catch up. Phil leads out on the turn, and Kevin keeps slow playing. Byron goes for a raise, and Phil is absolutely loving the action, having no idea he's drawing almost completely dead.
Look at this, 32,000.
Kevin's flat call is proving to be just sublime. Getting the raise from Byron, an ensuing ship from Hellmuth, I'm sure, and the situation Kevin has found himself in. If Hellmuth ships, Kevin will call, Byron will fold, and Hellmuth has 2% to stay alive in this 2017 Super High Roller Bowl.
All in.
I'm all in.
Also all in.
Sure enough, Hellmuth ships,
Wow.
as does Kevin.
This is a set I have.
Caverman out of the way.
And a little slow roll from Kevin Hart.
Uh-oh.
He nodded his head, took a little time to stick the knife in.
I'm not sure that's going to go over well. One out once for Phil Hellmuth. It was 2% to stay alive. Not often you see a one card up at the top of your screen, but that's exactly the spot.
Check raise me when you were drawn dead, Byron.
Wasn't drawing dead.
Well, you know.
Here it comes.
Damn,
Four
Phil.
pairs.
Take it easy, man.
And just like that, Phil is unceremoniously eliminated from the tournament. You'd think that getting eliminated by Kevin Hart of all people would send Phil into a full-blown meltdown, but he actually took it pretty well this time. Pocket threes proved to be a disaster for the poker brat, so let's see if Jason Alexander will have better luck with them. For our next hand, we have Jason Alexander, better known as George Costanza, squaring off against the always unpredictable Phil Lack on Shark Cage. Shark Cage was a short-lived but wildly entertaining format that pitted the poker pros against celebrities. The twist? If you got caught bluffing and you had to show your hand, you'd actually get sent to a literal cage, sitting out hands while everyone else played. But if you made a huge call and caught someone bluffing, they were the ones locked up. So Jason is no stranger to high-stakes poker, and in this one, you'll see he can hold his own even against the pros. He opens the action with pocket threes, and Phil Lack makes the call. Jason flops a set and immediately goes for a c-bet. I really love this play, as a lot of celebrities really seem to have a need to always slow play their monster hands. But Jason knows what's up. He can get called by a lot of weaker hands, and he certainly doesn't want to give his opponent a free card.
Phil raises big.
Get it in. Phil could be doing this with lots of draws. Set of threes, almost always the best hand here.
All in.
Jason moves all in and Phil calls.
Jason is a massive favorite, but Phil does have outs.
And if he hits, Jason will be eliminated.
Oh, why didn't I play it slower? I'm going up to heaven on that big riverboat.
A riverboat would actually be good for him.
It's a jack. More outs for Phil now.
There's really things you can avoid, Tristan. It's easier to avoid than to help. A milli free roll. This would be a time for a spade or a 10 on the milli free roll.
Summer of George.
Yes! Tristan! Handsome! That's not a spader.
Now let's check in on another sitcom legend. This time it's Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond, taking his shot under the bright lights of Celebrity Poker Showdown. We're about to watch another wildly entertaining TV event you've probably not seen before. Celebrity Poker Showdown is truly a show from much simpler times, an early 2000s series where actors, comedians, and musicians all sat down to play poker for charity. No solvers, no GTO talk, just table banter, good causes, and some surprisingly memorable hands. In this episode, the Barone brothers from Everybody Loves Raymond make an appearance, and while Brad Garrett is not the main character in the sitcom, this time he definitely stole the show. Sarah Rue open raises with ace-jack, and the action folds around to Brad in the big blind. He goes for a 3-bet, and Catherine O'Hara races him right back. You just have to love the action here. Nobody has a clue what they're doing, but they're sure having fun, and the madness continues. Brad moves all in. Sarah turns a straight, and it looks like it's all over for Brad, but then something unbelievable happens. A miracle river saves Garrett, and they top the pot.
I did go all in.
Why? You told him!
Because there's 40 other tables out there, this place blows. You can't go! And I've decided that my charity has enough money. What have you done for the Jewish youth of America? Good chili, throwing the ball, breaking a leg, scratching and spinning. Daddy, show me 3 diamonds and I'll wax your back. Don't forget to burn one, Skipper. Show Sarah Rue the wrath of the giant. 3 diamonds, thank you. It's better than why did you do that?
All right, Brad has Queen
Flop 'em.
Jack of Diamonds.
You know, at
Sarah
this
has
point-
Ace Jack of Clubs. Let's see the flop.
At this point, we're all winners.
3 of spades, deuce of clubs, 4 diamonds. There's no queen on that flop. Sarah has the best hand now with the ace high. She also has a straight draw. She needs a 5 to make a straight.
I need a lady.
He's only about 12% to win from here.
See a turn.
Siegfried, come on.
Here we go. Oh, 5 on the turn, and Sarah Rue has made a straight, and that will put a nail in the coffin for Brad Garrett.
Winners and Ace of Hearts at this
Ace, oh, wait.
No! It's a tie!
It's a tie.
Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ace on the river saved it.
My God.
But if you thought Brad couldn't possibly get any luckier, wait till you see the next one. Brad opens the action with pocket 10s, and Sarah calls with ace 8. The flop is ace 8-7, and for a second, it seems like Sarah is about to get her revenge.
4,000.
Oh, I see.
Brad got a little lucky here. You can get away from this hand now.
Going all in.
Again with the
Or not.
as your mother would say. Again with the all in.
1,600 more.
Okay, no more hearts.
Sarah calls.
She has him totally dominated here, Dave. He is only about 14% to win this pot.
That's 14 out of 100, right?
Yeah, that's 14 out of 100.
All right.
Brad has a 10 of clubs and a 10 of diamonds. He has a
You
pair
got a
of
10 in there, Bobby. You
Sarah
got a
has
10
the
in
best
there.
hand right now.
There are no more miracles left for him now.
All right, let's see the 4th card.
4th card.
4th card is a Jack of
All
Hearts.
right, a 9 will do it.
Brad now has an inside straight draw, but Sarah still has
A
the
9
best
will
hand.
do it, so will a 10.
All right, let's see the 5th card.
See if he's got another miracle in him.
Be there.
5th card is a 10 of hearts. Brad makes 3 10s and wins the pot.
In the end, Brad actually won in this episode, advancing to the Season 5 finals. And get this, he also won the championship. That's poker for you. Sometimes the worst player at the table wins. And while it can be frustrating, you have to admit it makes for an entertaining TV show. But Brad wasn't the only sitcom star in the spotlight, because in another episode, David Schwimmer, better known as Ross from Friends, had a few memorable hands of his own. Celebrity Poker Showdown wasted no time making a splash. Right from the very first episode, the show delivered big name clashes and big hands. David looks down at pocket aces and goes for a big 3-bet squeeze. Ben Affleck wisely gets out of the way, and Willie Garson makes the call. The funniest part about this show is that nobody, not even the commentators, really know what was going on half the time, but somehow this makes the show all the more charming. Anyway, we get an action flop, and you know it's just a matter of time before chips start flying.
5 comes up, couple of clubs for Willie, a 7 to make Ben squirm and say, oh my God, I laid down trips.
Yeah, but the most important thing is
he gonna be?
David's got 3 aces right now. That's amazing.
David bets 3,000. Willie's going all in.
Wow, this is a great feeling for David right now. He's got the best hand possible at this point.
You have to tip your hat at the fearless nature of Willie's play, but he is walking right into the lion's den.
He's a heavy underdog right now.
Willie goes all in for 8,400. Turn over both hands.
Here we go. We're going to see 4 clubs and 3 aces.
Wow.
He has a flush draw. David shows
Willie needs a club to make the flush.
he has 3 aces. I like it. Go ahead and turn it on. Turn is a jack of clubs, giving Willie the best hand with the flush.
David can still pair the board and make a full house.
River is a tray of spades.
David's eliminated here.
In the end, David is sent packing, and Ben Affleck thanks his lucky stars he dodged a bullet with that fold pre-flop. And you may be surprised to learn that Ben plays quite a lot of poker, and he even made a couple of appearances at the WSOP. And this next clip will actually show you him cheering on his good friend Matt Damon, who's also no stranger to high-stakes poker drama. So, Matt Damon starred in the 1998 movie Rounders as Mike McDermott. The movie became a cult classic and helped people propel the game of poker into the mainstream. And to this day, it remains arguably the best poker movie ever made. If you've somehow missed it, I highly recommend you give it a watch. Anyway, let's see if Matt picked up a thing or two from his time on the set. More than a decade after the movie's release, Matt sat down at the poker's biggest stage, the World Series of Poker, to recreate some Hollywood magic in real life. Matt completes the small blind with 10-6 suited, hoping to see a cheap flop. The flop is 10-10-6, and Matt almost jumps out of his chair. He quickly checks, hoping at least one of the players will take the bait. The flop checks through, and Matt continues to slow play on the turn. But unfortunately, this isn't a Hollywood script. With real money at stake, people aren't too keen to get out of line.
Did study that video where Johnny Chan flopped a straight and trapped Eric Seidel.
Wilson, who paired his 8, bet 6,400 chips.
Matt's got 1 fish on the hook.
A Hollywood star with some pretty bad acting here.
Actually reminds me of Ben in Jersey Girl.
He made it look tough, but he does make the call.
Yeah, he made it look like an uncertain call. He is an actor.
Seidel folded. Next gets out of the way. Wilson and Damon heads up. Damon with the check mark. He's got the nuts. A deuce on the river.
I think it's time for Matt Damon to pull the trigger.
Check. Ooh, slow plays again.
I might have bet there. Matt hoping that Wilson bets again.
I'll check.
But he checks. Unfortunate for Matt.
You know, for an A-list actor, that was some pretty bad acting from Matt. Matt Damon might have overacted his way through that hand, but our next player doesn't need theatrics. Magnus Carlsen, the greatest chess player of all time, brings cold calculation and perfect timing from the black and white squares straight to the poker felt. And as you'll see in this next clip, that kind of precision can be just as devastating in poker as it is on the chessboard. From calculating endgames on the chessboard to calculating odds at the poker table, Magnus Carlsen is no stranger to high-pressure decisions. Recently, he joined Alex Botez in a streamed cash game at the Venetian, battling it out against other influencers and content creators. Magnus opens the action with 7-deuce, but that's nowhere near the most questionable play from this hand. Alex goes for a 3-bet with 3-2 offsuit. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt here and assume she has some sort of a read on Magnus. But the problem with bluffing here is that these guys will just call you down with any random hand, so I don't really see the point. Anyway, there's something you need to know about Magnus Carlsen. Just like in his chess career, He's never been keen on following the rules. He makes his own rules. The bluff goes through, and the whole table goes crazy. A bold play, to say the least, but this wasn't as crazy as it might seem at a first glance. The table was playing a 7-deuce bounty, so any player that wins the hand with 7-deuce gets $100 from each player at the table. So in a typical Magnus fashion, what seemed like a blunder at first was actually a calculated, brilliant gambit.
That's insane.
It's crazy I just crapping for all that.
You're saying words.
Is there a quicker way to do this?
You could just put a black in.
I like no poker.
Yeah. Or if you see this
and flush
5, then you can take
I'm
more
calling.
chips.
Lingo gets crazy. I thought I knew all the
You could always
take back the 5.
Well, that's because Bryce is here like every other day.
Carlsen now with the decision. Does he want to make this 4-bet and try to take down the bounty pre? He's doing it. He's doing it.
Holy fuck.
Damn.
Who raised that?
Magnus.
That's my $1,000 right there.
I can't say anything, Bob. I appreciate you showing
Too much.
The 7-deuce bounty is so big that this is actually a pretty reasonable play when you're getting $100 per person in a 5-5 blind game.
Put all that 7-deuce money in.
Yeah, that's all the money you just won. That's crazy.
Edelman, the last line of defense against the bounty, can't do it.
Or 7-deuce.
Fantastic!
Now, strap in for our next clip because it's going to be legendary. We're wrapping it up with another charity event where Neil Patrick Harris gets tangled up in a crazy hand. Arden Cho goes for the open raise in the hijack, and Neil looks down at pocket 10s in the big blind. This would be a great spot for a 3-bet squeeze, but Neil decided to flat call instead. The problem with calling here is that it's going to be very hard to play this hand out of position against multiple opponents, especially when one of your opponents flops a set. Arden goes for a tiny c-bet, just begging to get called. On the turn, she decides to turn up the heat, not allowing all the drawing hands to get there for cheap. Then, out of nowhere, Patrick Rule blasts off a huge bet, turning the pressure up to 11. The river is another 6, and Arden boats up. Can Neil avoid a disaster here?
Arden not worried about any potential straights any longer. She has river to full house.
She is going to be the massive chip leader after this pot, even if no more money is put in. Oh, is she going to lead here?
Glance at Patrick's stack.
This could be interesting.
She is reaching.
I think she's thinking, you know, if my opponents did have a straight, I'd like to put some money in the pot and not let them make a very tight check back.
Now bets.
And, you know, Neil's got something. Maybe if I lead, he continues to put some money in the pot, even if Patrick was bluffing.
Patrick folds.
She bets 45K. Patrick out.
Neil says he makes
and
a
Neil
call.
calls and calls pretty quickly. Arden will show him the bad
Sevens
news.
full.
Oh, man.
And
Just
over
like
here
that.
For Neil. Arden's got 7s full of 6s.
Neil is going to be a short stack, and Arden
Massive
has
pot
half
here.
the chips in play.
Arden completely decimated Neil's stack, so if he wants to stay in the game, he has to make a move fast. With only 30 big blinds remaining, Neil goes on the offensive with ace-10. But Arden wakes up with a monster hand yet again. She goes for a massive 3-bet, putting a huge chunk of Neil's stack at risk. Neil makes the call, determines to play this one till the end.
Oh my! Arden with queens full as Neil blocks trip 10. How does that flop appear? And Neil just jams! Arden calls!
How good does Arden feel when she doesn't have to do any work? She just...
What a cooler!
Unbelievable.
What a cooler!
Crazy. That's actually crazy. Crazy.
How lucky you are. We over say it's 10 something. There's still a 10 remaining.
And I go to queen. I go to
Oh no!
Somebody claimed they folded a queen as well.
If
So
it
that's
turns
just...
an ace, he has out. Ace or...
Ace or the 10 ball.
How very daring is that?
Everybody heard that. He goes, Neil Patrick Harris has the worst cooler of the night. He said it's so loud and everyone's laughing.
One out, you see it. It's the 10 of hearts.
Right? I thought that was such a great view. It was such a...
Come on now.
It's an 8. Wow. He said good game to Neil Patrick Harris.
Just look at Arden's face here. She really doesn't want to do this to Neil, but unfortunately, there's nothing she can do about it. But at the end of the day, it was all for a good cause, and everyone is just happy to participate. But when real money is at stake, not everyone is on their best behavior. When egos clash and there's millions on the line, sometimes it gets ugly. So, if you want to see what happens in poker's most disrespectful moments, make sure to watch this video next, and get ready to be sat on the edge of your seat. We'll see you there.